That was a good setup. Just
all we need to do is just man spread. I mean, just like.
well, Tony's gonna be sitting on the floor in front of us, so.
Is he?
There you go, Levi. Your opportune moment to teabag him.
Oh God.
Oh, I'm gonna do
I
more.
guess I don't have to sit on the floor. I think.
No, you can sit on the floor.
Come on, Jelly Bean.
No, I think that's okay.
Come on, Shy Noodle.
Bounce for Levi.
Bounce for
Come
Levi.
on, Shy Noodle. I'll just squeeze you between my thighs.
Alright, out of all of our tech garbage that we just went through,
Mishaps.
We're really hoping this works.
well, like 3 cameras and fucking, like, a computer that doesn't want to work and microphones. We now went to live streaming on YouTube with my phone and
a universal car mount.
That is currently taped.
That's taped to a table to hold up the phone so it doesn't fall over.
Because, god damn it, MacGyver.
Thank God.
You know what? I will say. Okay, hold on. You're watching Cinema on Save Points. Finally, hopefully, our Infinity War live stream spoiler review. What time is it?
Time for you
It's
to get
about
a
3:27, 3:28.
3:28.
Okay, so we were up in 10 minutes, like I said we were gonna be. This is the You'll Be Fine podcast, and
We're not fine.
well,
we're
I will
fine.
say let's say that is the point of You'll Be Fine is we have never actually acknowledged this before, but
Pretty sure there's a curse.
the You'll Be Fine mantra that we have is curse. You say you'll be fine to someone and something bad happens afterward, generally. And of course we named our podcast that because it was a nice funny thing in our group. But now,
Is it really funny and nice?
is it funny anymore? Because none of our shit ever works.
I feel like I was the jinx, and then I realized, no.
We're running off a car holder and duct tape. So it's holding the world together.
So thanks for watching because it took us, this was supposed to start at like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Taking us now an hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
So,
There was an hour and a half
Enjoy.
set up before
Let's-
2.
let's-
right.
Let's get into the Infinity Wars. Finally.
Thank you for
Fine.
watching
Yes.
so much. Please like, share, and subscribe to Cinema on Save Points, this channel. Share this video on Facebook and Twitter if you're watching.
So you can watch all of this glorious
Yeah.
action.
There's a couple of previous live streams trying to set up that you can watch and comment on and enjoy the shenanigans. If you share the video on Facebook and Twitter at CSP Videos, we are giving away custom-made Avengers shoes. We'll get a little bit closer view of that. Handmade. We're pretty much going to do just a live drawing. We'll see if we get however many shares. Make sure you subscribe to the channel here. And yeah, nice custom kicks.
Do we want to get up to how many subscribers we want to get up to?
As many as possible.
Yeah, I
as
mean, we're
possible.
sitting pretty at about 400. We'd love it to get, higher in general.
We're
but-
aiming for 1,000.
Mm.
If you can actually bump this channel up to 1,000, I'm pretty sure we can do some weird video with Jelly Beans. It'll be a thing.
Peter Dinklage is playing dubs.
Oh,
He won't use his hands.
It was like almost in the Infinity War. It was almost like permanent, like hand check. It's like you're just holding them there the whole entire time.
Yeah.
So I am Tony.
I am Mike.
I'm Levi.
I'm Rob, not sideways.
No, Jesus Christ.
So okay, Infinity War is about a week old now. It was, I think, the highest grossing opening weekend box office ever,
Yeah,
as far as I saw.
it beat Star Wars. It's beaten Black Panther, obviously.
Like Fast and Furious was a big one.
Just
I
read in the
remember.
newspaper.
I'm pretty sure it's gotten past Titanic. Don't quote me on that one, but I think if it's beaten Star Wars, we've
Right.
gone past Titanic and all those. So as of right now, this is the biggest grossing movie that's going to be in for like the last 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I imagine until possibly part 2, it's not going to get beat at all. Part 2 might beat it, but
I mean, everyone's going to want to see what happens
Like,
next.
even
Right.
Infinity War, I read it in the newspaper, got a 5-star.
Yeah, I did.
5.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect it winning Oscars, but holy
It
crap.
could, like, if you notice, like, every Marvel movie that's out there has never, like, really won an Oscar, but
Yeah.
this one may potentially get
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
because of...
I mean, they
So much-
included Peter Dinklage, so it's
Yeah.
in the running.
I've always gotten the thing where if it was won an Oscar or some kind of award, I usually don't want to see it. Like, not that they're bad movies,
But everyone's pretentious.
yeah, you know, I don't know if I'm just not into those kind of movies as much compared to...
Look, we're
What?
simple folk.
We like comic book movies and explosions and...
Just,
You know.
yeah, not Michael Bay. Sorry.
Shawshank Redemption.
I used to like Michael Bay. Michael Bay used to be okay. I mean, he
Yeah,
did
then
some things.
Transformers.
Then
Transformers.
Transformers. And
And
Megan Fox.
Transformers.
I mean,
I'll watch
That was
Megan
probably
Fox
the
on
only good choice.
mute.
I'll watch Megan Fox on the internet, but not in a movie.
And there's the porn reference.
Megan Fox impersonators, get on that.
What mostly we want to talk about for Infinity Wars are some of the weapon types and maybe something from Hulk and how he got bitch slapped.
Yeah,
Oh
I mean,
my
we can.
gosh.
Yeah, like okay. We're just gonna kind of run down different aspects of the movie that we liked, that we didn't like. I mean, we'll start with the stuff that we liked about the movie. And honestly, that's one of my points that I did like a lot was that in the beginning, and again, this is a spoiler-filled review. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch this video.
Yeah, you should probably leave.
Now,
I mean,
if
if
you
you
could be
haven't already-
entertained.
you've been able to get through to this point, that's great, that's fantastic. However, if you don't want spoilers, go now.
I feel like
Yeah,
if they made
seriously,
it
go
to
watch
this
the
point,
movie.
they're so far committed to watching us, they don't care if it's spoilers
They-
or not.
I mean, at this point in time, they're waiting for the next train wreck.
Right.
I know.
As the
Oh.
camera goes sideways.
Right, it just the tape just falls.
Like you see Thanos in the background be like, I'm totally fucking with this channel.
So that was one of my big things that I did like about Infinity War of like first 5 minutes of the movie opening up, you get the idea or the concept of how powerful Thanos is when he's just
Without the stone.
bitch slapping Hulk. Yeah,
I mean, he
just-
had, what, 2 stones at that point? And
Yeah,
he
the-
just, like, thoof.
right.
Another thing about that part for me is like I wanted to like maybe just a little flashback in how Thanos got the stone. We just basically got an improv of well, Thanos destroyed Nova Corps and all that stuff, and it was just like
How?
When you got the one, was that what?
Well,
You
let's
got it
go.
from the collector or whatever. They showed that. Wasn't that
Yeah,
one of
but
the
that
ones?
was the
he-
third stone.
Was it the third stone?
That was the third stone
Okay.
he got. So we didn't even get to see that fight. Everything was just on fire.
that was the reality stone from
Yeah, that was
Thor
reality
Dark
stone.
World.
Okay.
So-
yeah.
So the power stone, the purple one, that right? That's the
Yeah.
purple is power. So P. Got it. With that one, yeah, I would have liked to see the battle that happened, but you got to realize by the end of just the first Guardians, most of the Nova Corps was just wiped.
Right.
Mhm.
Where, I mean, we're starting from scratch. So you got all the recruits up against Thanos. That probably would have been a very short fight
Like-
to begin with.
I would like
in
to
the,
see
in
it.
the, in the
Yeah.
sense of like that, I want to know like, did he? How did he know that the Power Stone was on Nova?
Well, I know, wasn't Gamora going for the stone in
She was
Galaxy War?
she was going for it, but Thanos never really had a depiction of where it was. He was just sitting in his chair, just looking out into space and threatening what's his name because he was being a giant dick.
Yeah.
Ronan?
Yeah, Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah. Ronan. Sorry.
Ronan, right.
Ronan.
Different.
Nam.
Nam. But yeah.
So
because-
the nanny was just being a dick, and so
Mhm.
Thanos had to put him in his place.
Yeah. So he might have found out how it was because like it, or was the Collector in on Thanos because he was like one down.
Look, my thing is that if the Collector was in on it, why is everything on fire?
True.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe Thanos is just a really big dick. Like he turned into a nice guy at the end of the movie where he just makes a cool little house and watches the sunset.
Well, I mean, that's what he said he would do.
That's what, right.
I'm
He-
not sure he's so nice, even at the end there.
I mean, he was more of a like an extreme realist. Like I'm gonna kill half the people in the universe because
There's a balance.
yeah.
Which, that's one of the topics we want to get on, is the difference between the comic book Thanos and why he gathered the stones versus the Marvel Cinematic Universe Thanos, it was really all about balance.
Right.
So, anyways, let's hit topics that we like. Well,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
So we were discussing that the Hulk and like what happened to him. Like why was he so scared? Because maybe it was his first time ever getting beat.
oh yeah,
Or somebody
yeah.
who's actually
Stronger.
stronger.
Yeah, within
Yeah.
the first 5 minutes.
Because he got beat by like Hulkbuster, and he got beat by by Thor in Ragnarok, but not to the degree that Thanos did. Like he was basically toying with Hulk.
He
You saw there that-
basically pulled a Loki on Hulk.
Right.
Where in the first Avengers, where Hulk was just boom, 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 but he just
Puny god.
Wow.
Yeah, puny Hulk at this point
Right,
in time
right.
is what we're looking at.
So so they took the power from Hulk and just transferred it over to Thor because he came like super overpowered.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you haven't watched Ragnarok, you really should. I'm not suggesting it that it's a good movie. I'm just saying that to catch up to what's going on,
Right.
get to a Ragnarok. But I mean,
There's definitely movies in the MCU that you have to see to really appreciate Infinity War. Not everyone,
No.
but there are key ones out of the 18 over the last 10 years that really make a difference because they don't hold your hand with this movie. That you hit Infinity War, you're going.
they
So,
assume that you have been paying attention.
and rightfully so. If you are watching this and you're all in, you should have been paying attention.
And
They
for those
want you
people
to
who
get it.
always left the theater before the end credits, like to those people who don't know what's going on and you're giving critique about the movie and how I don't understand it, you should have stayed to the end credits.
Yeah, I mean, there's only been a couple movies that haven't had end credits, and
Right.
hey, good on you for walking out then, because we all sat around waiting. However,
Yeah.
We wasted like 20 minutes just to come on.
I can't
hurry
remember
up.
which one it was, but I was sitting in the theater in one of the MCU films, and I wasn't sure if it had 2 or 1 end credit scenes. So I'm in the movie. I watched the first one, and I'm on my phone googling. I'm like, is there a second one? Do I need to wait like another 10 minutes to get through this, or am I just stupid?
But what are your guys' genuine facts on the whole Thor scene where he was just completely overpowered, and that was only with 2 stones, like
yeah.
with the not the time stone, the space stone and the power
Space
stone.
and power, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
What was, not to switch from likes dislike, but I just recall with Thor, what's his name, Heimdall.
I know.
Heimdall.
There was a point brought up that I remember. It was weird that he could. I can't think of it.
Summon the Bifrost?
Yeah. Why was he able to do that just at will when it seemed other times he had to actually
Stand at the station.
and
insert
use
the
the sword and everything? It was odd to me that they did it that way.
Maybe they were using the Bifrost. The station was more like a focus.
Yeah.
Because if you would notice that some of the Bifrost when Thor was coming back, it was kind of like completely jumbled in almost everywhere, and it almost didn't even make the symbol on the ground. I don't really think it even did.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, that was more.
I think it was just he
like
slammed right into
in.
Earth, and
Right.
that was it.
I feel that was more of a focus thing, like a focus tool for him, just to I'm gonna beam you there.
Yep. Or bring you back. I mean,
Right.
it's easier to bring back inside when you have an origin point. I mean, Stargate. Come on.
And when he sent the Hulk back first instead of Thor.
It was interesting, but I think it was the right. I mean, obviously, to make the story work as it did, it would be the right choice. But also the fact that you're going to keep the guy who's still kicking, while I'm going to send the guy that's laying on his back.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean that makes sense to me. The fact that Hulk got his ass whooped was just like, in a way surprising, but in another sense, it just like everyone's been saying,
And then
it's just really showcased
Yes.
how powerful
And
Thanos
I think
was.
that was the reason. I mean, they could have done that with Thor and had him get beat, but I don't think it would have had the same impact because
Right.
Hulk is such an imposing force. If you have Thanos, that you see the scale of Hulk versus Thanos, and Thanos is the same size as Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
the fight is almost one-sided, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
the
get the
other scene
feeling
when
of how Thanos
Heimdall
is.
sent him back to town and where he was trying to summon the Hulk, it was just like it was like he was pooping. Like they were just like, it's time to bring out the green friend, and it was just like, and then he just goes green and be like, oh, maybe they'll come back, and then it just went, nope.
Flushed right back out. Yeah, that was interesting. I mean,
That was like the first time I ever saw the Hulk actually struggling with Bruce Banner, like him going from the Hulk
Oh,
face
it's,
inside the Hulkbuster and then back into
Right.
Bruce Banner face.
It was a personality fight.
Yeah.
Saying, like, he won't come out.
Come
And Bruce
on.
Banner's like,
No.
well, why not? Like, that's
He just
there's something
screamed,
wrong
"No."
here. No.
Well, and that's like I said, I love that part because it shows even more character development with Hulk. That you start with Ragnarok. That Hulk is almost like a toddler, and so he got his ass whooped. He's almost ashamed or maybe afraid of Thanos, so he refuses to come out again.
And we're
Yeah.
making this pretty good. We're not narking the Hulk for getting his ass.
He's a
No.
bitch.
Except for the guy in the middle. We don't,
yeah,
we
that
don't
Giant
know.
Noodle here
Giant
totally
Noodle
wants to
is-
take on the Hulk. He thinks he can do it.
No, like,
Not to narc on him or anything. I would say that in the general consensus of him being the way he is, I would be knocked a peg or two down.
Yeah.
If I got
Yeah.
slapped by one, and I was supposed to be received as the strongest,
strongest
There is, yeah.
Yeah. I would gonna be like, dude, you, I think you just broke my tooth.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I
I'm done.
know.
Like,
You
I
made
was
me
telling
bleed
you
my own
earlier
blood.
about it, like, the cinematic universe and then the comic book universe, like, when the Hulk and Thanos fight, even though in the comic books Thanos does, he could beat the Hulk,
It was
but
a
is
lot.
but is it worth it? It's like the Hulk's like the honey badger and Thanos like the lion. I mean, yeah, the lion can kill the honey badger, but in the end, you get really, really fucked up to the point where like, is it even really worth
Alright,
it?
since we're moving on to from the Hulk, which is good
Oh, yeah.
points and views on the Hulk
Yeah.
and all that fun stuff. Hopefully we see him in the next Infinity War.
I just want to see him in the next movie.
I just
Yeah,
want to see
like-
what he would come
Right.
back as. Like,
Like-
will he come back as World Breaker or?
Oh, in all honesty, I don't see him coming back as World Breaker. As much as that would be cool, I just don't think it's going to be that. Like, he's going to come back angry if he ever gets that way. He's going to be coming like blind, raging angry. But I don't think we're going to see World Breaker like we did in the comics at the end of World War Hulk.
No.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's going to be more of a plot point with Hulk and Banner and Black Widow again, that she's having to kind of bring him, like if he is coming back and he's just pissed off and angry and destroying things, is she going to be the one to have to bring him back down again?
I think so, but the other thing is, imagine seeing, since Black Widow is still, alive,
Right.
imagine your woman getting hurt, and you don't think the beast is not going to come out.
That's a good
That's
point.
my
Like, what's going
theory
to bring
about-
Hulk
yeah,
out,
yeah.
Those are really
I was
all.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
because
yeah.
I mean, with Banner getting his ass kicked and Hulk not doing his thing, then that's a good
Right.
good point. What is going to really drive Hulk to come back out and get even, in a sense?
Well, let's go to let's say Cap. We see Cap come back, and he's not overly used in this movie, but he's also had 3 of his own. He was
I would say there was 3 focal characters, and that was Iron Man, Strange,
I would say Strange.
and
I mean, obviously.
Besides
Thanos.
Thanos,
Besides
yeah,
Thanos.
Right. Well,
honestly,
I'd almost say Peter Parker was a strong focal point.
yeah,
honestly,
Peter
Scarlet
was
Witch.
towards up to the end.
Scarlet
I
Witch.
think Scarlet Witch
Scarlet
was one
Witch
of the big
second
ones.
half was a
Vision,
big strong.
yeah, Vision. I would say was a bit of that because it was the Infinity Stone.
Yeah,
in
the
his
Infinity,
head. You had
the
to
Mind
be-
Stone and
Like you had to be kind of part of that to even comprehend of like anything else because, like, that's another thing we want to go over is the whole he wasn't using the Infinity Stone to its full power, and he like Hulk got smacked around. But we'll discuss that a little bit later. But what our next general topic would have been was the weapons.
Yes.
The weapons and stuff that they use for phenomenal job. A lot of people wanted to see Cap with the original shield,
or even a variation of that shield.
but
Which I did find odd that he didn't. I mean, he wasn't able to throw the shield. If you want to call them shields or whatever, kind of.
They
They
were
were
like
more-
arm bracers.
Yeah.
Cauldrons, maybe, or I don't know what you like. The bracers at that point in time. I mean, they were just really long bracers with points, and he could beat the crap. Which, in a way, is cool. He's going back to fisticuffs. You know, he's just using his fist to do
And
damage.
He did use his shield in that way too. He would hit somebody with the shield and block, but he doesn't have the throwing and
The trademark throw.
Yeah, so I found that a little bit odd.
I mean, it's Wakanda. They can make him another shield.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck they want. Or do you think for the next Infinity War they're gonna go back to a nostalgia moment like they did in the first Infinity?
I don't think so. I don't think we're going
Because like how awesome would it be? Like he drops those two shields and Tony Stark is like, here, you get this back.
Well, and that's one thing we didn't see any interaction between Captain America
And
Tony.
No.
They were on two different planets.
I like how they did that with
Right.
the whole
Without
Civil War.
Civil War.
Like there's still conflicting.
You're going to see their
interests.
first interaction in the next Infinity War movie.
or
and that's
whatever
going to
movie
be
is going to become in between.
Infinity War.
Like
They
all
haven't
in all,
announced
I
it
give
yet.
I give
Yeah.
Cap's new stuff maybe a low 6 because
I like Cap's character, or because they mainly just use them for fighting. I mean, but you got so much depth with him in all the other previous movies. I don't think you really needed it.
Yeah, but he seems so monotone and depressed, which I understand why, but I felt like he's still he's still supposed to be an inspiring and imposing figure, and it really didn't feel like he was inspiring anyone.
He's Captain Emo now.
Hey.
Z tier.
Sorry, Tobey Maguire, your throne is gone.
Oh wow!
Oh,
If only he had black hair, black hair and that beard going on with his
stop
fucking
it!
dark bracers on.
it.
All of a sudden, he's dancing. Do you want that? I don't want that.
what was it? The Dance Off to Save the World Part 2.
Dance off, bro.
Or to Save the Universe or whatever.
Yeah. It wasn't a dance up, it was like a distraction.
Oh, whatever. They called it a dance off.
It worked. I don't know what you are. It worked.
Oh, there's no dance off in Infinity War. Sorry.
No.
Galactic Guardians.
But it's a reference
Good
of
Guardians.
Another thing is
Right.
that
Reference
I like the idea that Black Panther still kept his suit with the
Oh,
pulse.
yeah.
I was still.
Thank
I
you.
thought they were gonna do something new because it's Infinity Wars. Like they gave Cap new gloves, like new shield.
Well,
I
and
figure they're
speaking
gonna give
of-
everyone a new upgrade, like they did with Spider-Man and his suit.
Oh, that was great, dude.
Oh,
I
Iron
love
Spider.
the Iron Spider and the legs and everything.
Yeah.
I
that
like
was
the part
great.
where he was flying out about to fly out the
Oh, come on.
and he was just like, "What is this?
Right.
What is this?"
Oh, man, this is awesome. What are these?
I love the new Peter Parker. Tom,
and I thought
Tom
they-
Holland, he's
yeah.
fantastic.
I thought they were gonna do something new with the Black Panther suit, and I'm kind of happy that they stuck with from the movie that they just came out with.
I was gonna say, I think
It was still
it's just-
fresh.
The fact is, it was still fresh. He went to a new suit in his own movie. Why give him another new suit? This isn't Iron Man. This isn't, hey, we have a suit for every occasion.
Right.
Like Tony Stark always had,
And he should,
and he
Tony
was
Stark.
making suits even in Iron Man 3. Like he had tons of them,
Yeah.
tons.
Yeah.
Mostly all of them destroyed.
Now,
but-
what's your guys' opinion on Tony Stark's Iron Man suit in this movie? It's got
Love it.
Fantastic.
Okay, on the nano suit.
I mean,
even
it
the
was-
CGI work on it just felt so almost like kind of like lifelike. It was just like it had a mind of its own almost because every part that came off of it, it filled in with
right.
the
It
rest of
builds
the
back
suit.
up, and
Well,
yeah.
Okay, so if anybody is not reading the comics, this is kind of what what the great tie-in for me is the representation of that armor was one of his most current suits in the comics. Like after the Secret Wars and the incursions and everything, when we restart Invincible Iron Man, he has nanite armor that can basically fill any role. Like he has the boosted jet thrusters, so he can fly off everywhere. Which he had that in the movie, you know.
Did he have in the trailer? Remember, didn't they show his legs turn into like a thruster?
And they had that in the movie.
Was it in the movie?
That was in the movie.
I missed it. I don't
That
remember
was
seeing
when
that at all.
the ring thing was
Yeah.
going up in the sky.
That was in okay.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have that full running shot that you saw when everybody was in Wakanda and Hulk's in the background.
Right.
That big epic and
Yeah,
Cap
they-
was in the front.
Yeah,
that wasn't in the movie.
They definitely took parts of the trailer and
Missed
said,
the-
"Hey, guess what?
missed
We're
the
not going to
jetpack.
use this."
Which they do. But yeah, I missed the jet boots or whatever. I didn't see that part.
And with the weapons that Iron Man had, Tony Stark built with it, it's like some of those were almost like science, like completely out of the MCU type.
Fantasy.
Yeah,
or
like almost. It's like
sci-fi.
I mean, he had a sword at one point.
right, and it was just like.
Just
Where did all those things come? What did those do that just came out of your back? Those were supposed to be your thrusters, and they turned into like 6 little different
Speaking of
laser guns.
the what are those? Didn't Peter Parker say that about the spider legs? And when he popped
Yeah,
out, he's like,
yeah,
"What
yeah.
are those?
What are these?" Which again, the Iron Spider suit is just fantastic. It's not the red and gold in the comics, but I think it's such a good looking suit. And
I was
wore it
surprised
well.
I liked it as much as I did because I wasn't sure that I was going to care for it because I so old school classic Spider-Man. I didn't do the comics, you know. I was the Spider-Man 90s cartoon.
Right.
So
Animated.
it not even Unlimited. It was
Animated.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry because they made this like Spider-Man Unlimited was one of the animated ones too. But I didn't see any of that in the TV series. So seeing the Iron Spidey suit, I'm like, you know, it's kind of almost too Iron Man-y for me. He doesn't need that suit because he's already like so super powered and he can take all these hits and things. So I wasn't sure if I was going to care for it, and I did. I loved it. It was great.
I mean, the fact is that they bring it in the comics, and again, you didn't read them. That's fine. But when Tony Stark gave Peter Parker the suit, he goes, "Look, this is only going to help you because guess what? You're not going to get hit by bullets."
Right.
If a bullet does hit you, it's not going to hurt you. You actually have armor. Which is fantastic. And I mean, that's really the only thing that Spider-Man was missing. He has this fantastic suit, he has his web shooters, and he has his mind. He's a smart kid.
Oh, yeah.
He's a smart person.
Genius.
So he can do all this.
I just like some of the references that he uses, like Alien reference.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
You
great.
just watch that really old movie, Aliens, and it's just like, you can almost see Tony Stark going, "Are you kidding me?"
But it works. It works.
Well, and you have in Civil War when he did the reference to Star Wars, it was just perfect. The next level of that going for Alien, yeah.
Yeah, it was just great. I mean, you have this younger kid that's obviously, you know, not been brought up with all these other cult classic movies, just using them as references, and us as, you know, the age that we are going, it's not that old.
Well, and I mean, we're around 10 years older than what Peter Parker would be, you know, currently in the MCU.
Yeah.
So to us, it's like, oh, it's whatever, Star Wars and stuff. It's not that old, and he's like, they're old guys. They're old. Fucking millennial Parker over here.
Damn it.
Hashtag millennial Parker.
Another weapon set we want to get into is the big one.
Oh, the hammer?
The hammer.
Oh,
hammer.
Stormbreaker. The hammer.
That's what I thought. I thought it
Hammer
almost was
axe.
axe-like, which,
And-
again, not bad, but...
No. I mean, just lovely. I love just the entire look of it, and that whole scene of bringing it together. Here's my
It was
one
almost
thing.
like a goof up almost.
Kind of.
Because it was.
They
it was.
couldn't find a handle.
They couldn't find it. Where's the handle? We need the handle, and then.
And Thor's like just like laying there almost dead, and Groot sacrifices a part of himself to finalize it.
And that was one of, honestly, my favorite parts of the movie. It was such a small, quick scene, but to combine Guardians and Avengers in that way, because that's not how Stormbreaker was created in the comics.
No, not at all.
So,
and
go ahead.
Well, no, go ahead. You got it.
I just, it's great to me to see the MCU build its own, universe of, lore.
But I feel that that's why I think we need to put it. Like, if you were going into this movie based on the comic books, don't. In some aspects,
if you're
yes.
hardcore thinking, oh, I love the comics. I hope they don't screw this up. I hope they don't do this. You have to take it as movies.
for some of the things like Stormbreaker, like that's not really Thor's hammer. That's
Beta Ray Bill's hammer.
Beta Ray, because he beat Thor, and it was Odin's test to see if he would kill Thor, but he didn't. He brought him back to Asgard, and he passed Odin's test.
Yeah.
And he made the hammer for him.
Gotcha.
Right.
And that's why I feel like some people are like kind of be upset about that. It's like there are some parts that they didn't take from the comics, and there are some parts that they did. But don't go fully into it from the comic book.
And I think at this point in time, and again, if you've been watching the movies for the past 10 years,
Right.
and you've gotten to this point,
Right.
and you're still upset that it's not following the comics step by step,
Yeah.
stop watching the movies, because
Right.
Just go read more comics. That's fine. They're still great.
Yeah, they're still fantastic. I mean, a little jumpy jury, whatever. I mean, Captain America's now Hydra, whatever. Anyways, well, he was.
He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
In another universe.
No. We'll get to that in another one.
Yeah.
Uh,
When it comes out.
So, anyways, yeah, Stormbreaker having now this new lore in the movie and Thor picking it up is fantastic. Which, again, I'm going to go ahead and say Thor as a character now is fantastic versus Thor previous.
Oh, he's so much better now.
He's so much better now. It's like when he got the haircut, he finally.
Maybe we should just killed off the Asgardians like sooner.
I mean,
Well, I'm just saying.
Wow,
Like,
dude.
what?
Wow,
No, I'm
dude.
just saying. This
It would have
is
saved us
Alright,
from Dark
Thanos.
World.
Alright,
It would have saved us from Dark World.
Well, maybe
If the
like,
Dark Elves won, hey!
like we get pissed off Thor. That's what we want. We want pissed off Thor. That was
Yes,
good.
we want one-eyed pissed off Thor because that Thor is amazing. Thank you, Chris Hemsworth, for channeling that right. At the same time, I feel like at the end of Ragnarok, he finally developed as a character. He was starting to get wiser. However, when I saw him interact in the beginning with the Guardians, it's like, oh, there's that old cocky Thor that just doesn't give a crap about anybody.
But it was like
I
an
didn't
emo.
really, yeah, I
cocky.
didn't really need that.
Right.
I can see sad, angry, hey, I'm going to use some dry wit. At the same time, it just felt like he was just covering it all up with his ego.
Like he just witnessed like half his people get killed. Like I would something to cheer me up is a talking like raccoon to be like, "You're the captain."
Oh, what did he
yes,
call
I
him?
am."
Rabbit.
Quill."
Rabbit.
You
Yeah,
kept calling him a rabbit. I'm like, you've seen animals, right? If you know how to talk Groot, how have you not seen a raccoon? You've been to Earth.
Yeah. Like you've seen animals, right?
You seem to be the captain. Yes, I am.
There's 2 points I think. Besides, okay, I don't even want to know if I want to go into the eyeball thing with Thor.
Oh, that's funny.
That was
No.
really
Why even
It
do
was
the
just
patch?
it was just getting away from, I think, the bad CGI of the patch. Because if you notice during the movie, the patch just didn't quite sit right on his face, and I'm like, that's silly. Why are we using CGI for an eye patch? Why is that not like just some real patch and some glue and
I
stick
think,
with
I think
it?
that I think they actually did the real patch with Odin.
They did the real patch with Odin, and heck, I think they even did a real patch during Ragnarok because it looked so natural in there.
I think
but
that's
it looked
what
so fake in.
Because
Yes.
at one point where he took it off, it just looked like he just rubbed it off and just put the eye in.
Well, I think that they did they're like, oh, it'll be a really cool arc if, he loses his eye and he gets an eye patch like Odin, so it's tying that in, and then
We just give him an eye.
Well, and yeah, the Russo brothers in
Not
Infinity
even
War,
the
they're
correct
like,
color eye.
we don't like that he has an eye patch, so we're just gonna retcon that and give him his eye back.
It's a different colored eye, so now he has two different colored,
Yeah,
two different eyes.
So does
It
that
doesn't
mean
match.
every time he summons his like great power, does that eye kind of like burn out?
Oh, we never saw the lightning. No, now we did. Yeah, we did.
Well,
we did.
no, it
Yeah,
was
he used
it was
a whole bunch of lightning.
Yeah, he used a whole bunch of lightning, but it like for like the hammer, it was like kind of like a smoky, blue, fiery
Yeah.
substance to
But,
it.
yeah, but still, he didn't. The eye didn't burn out.
No, the eye didn't burn out, which is very amazing. Like maybe we should think about technology outside of our universe.
Yeah.
Tony Stark should be like, let me just, you know.
Right.
How'd you require this
My-
eye? I required it from the rabbit. Who snuck it out somehow? I didn't see him.
He didn't finish that story.
My two big points of Thor before we get off into another point or another subject is he's so goddamn OP in this. He got hit
Yes.
by the power of a star, like just going through his body, and is fine. I mean, he wasn't
Well,
directly
he wasn't
fine,
directly fine.
but-
He needed the hammer to reset.
Yeah.
Which that was odd. Like, he needed the hammer. He needs a hammer. He's dying. I'm like, but it's not even his hammer. Why does he need that hammer?
Well, and it was established in Ragnarok that he didn't need the hammer. He had the power within him.
Yeah.
So I swear, like they just
He's just
retconned
dependent.
I feel
Ragnarok.
I feel with the hammer, how with the new hammer is, it's that it wasn't really built correctly because they just dumped it on the ground and Groot just picked it up with his hand and sacrificed his hand. And I feel like some of that was like not really done correctly, and some of the power is like kind of spilling out into it. That's why.
Like
That's why we
Thor
got.
made it.
Yeah, like he's using the inner, like, because that's what Mjolnir was actually for. It was like a conduit.
Right.
Yeah,
for
it
him
was
to
to
use.
focus.
But with this new hammer, there's not really much to focus with all his rage and stuff that he put into it. Like his power is just like forcing itself out. That's why we got that smoky, fiery substitute for it. And then his whole entire chest and area was glowing, and I was just like, where was he at? Where was this at? He had to get a new hammer. You had to sacrifice a good hammer.
He also had to sacrifice his hair.
Yeah. I think that was like the big drawback everyone I guess was having with it.
It's
It's
like he.
long hair Thor, not funny.
That's what it was. Yeah.
That's what it was.
My other Thor point or that whole scene, I am gonna be the outcast, but I thought that Peter Dinklage. I love that he was in it, and I love that he was
Well,
the
even
little
the dog
person
doesn't agree with you.
playing. What?
Here the dog doesn't. You're just like you said. Peter Dinklage was bad.
No. That's
He hasn't even said it yet.
I didn't say
Hasn't
that.
even said it
I
yet.
didn't say that.
Yet.
Right.
I felt it. It seemed.
Made a dog cry.
it
You go to
was.
sleep at night.
It was weird seeing the imagery of Peter Dinklage as an oversized little person, as you know what I
He was
mean?
a giant dwarf.
Yeah, like a giant.
He was a dwarf. He was a dwarf.
But
We all know dwarves as short, stubby
yeah,
people.
so because it,
But
But
this
it's
is space.
It's just-
different.
it was just weird imagery to me,
I
and maybe that's why I didn't care for it as much. And honestly, the voice Peter Dinklage, when that sounded a little weird to me.
So
I
you're
feel like
telling
he
us to
could've-
send every short person into space so they can grow? Is that what you're saying?
Wow, guys. Make sure you subscribe to our channel.
We don't hate.
Hey, we love Peter
But-
Dinklage. Just Tony.
I do. I love Peter Dinklage. I love him in Game of Thrones. I
Oh yeah.
loved him in X-Men. You know,
Yeah, you
but
only use Game of Thrones.
No.
reference. There was other movies.
There was
that he
other
did-
movies,
He
yeah.
did a game too, but they kicked him off that.
well, I mean, he wasn't great in that. He was very monotone.
I prefer Peter Dinklage in Destiny.
I know, honestly, I like it. If they could have tweaked him a little bit, I would have liked him better.
I don't think we should ever discuss that game because it is so bad.
All right. Well,
Anyway,
so that was
Anyway.
Anyways, back to the
dial
movie.
it
Yeah.
back.
that was my only thing. Is I not that I didn't like Peter Dinklage in the role. I thought it was
Was it the
just
fact
a little
that
weird.
he was like unlimited hand check for the rest of his life? Was that what threw you off?
I don't know.
Because I would be upset too.
My hands are stuck.
Right.
Like I would be upset too if my hands were melted in the
They
steel.
weren't melted. They were just like cast.
Right.
They had like a metal cast on them that he couldn't get off because now that the forge is alight again, maybe he could do something.
Yeah, true. Well, no, because as
It's
soon
not gonna
as
look pretty though.
fucking Thor gets out of his sun power, it's I would assume it's not, you know.
Mm.
But yeah, I think Thor was like over OP.
He's a god. Well, god.
God.
Yeah,
He's
He's
Asgardian.
just a god.
But okay, so he
God.
gets all
He's
that
a
power
god.
and he gets
Jesus
his
God.
hammer back and everything, and he pops back onto Earth just to skip ahead just a little bit, and one swift fucking snipe to Thanos, and that's all they needed. Like Thor literally took out Thanos
I killed
like
him.
that.
I mean, not
No.
like that.
I
But
mean, if he would have better aim, he could have done it.
Oh yeah, should have aimed for the
You're
hand.
gonna get into a guy who has
I know,
a
right?
mechanical eye that, by the way, spontaneously worked as he put it in.
Here's-
Like there's no need. There's like little stuff back in your eye where you actually.
I know,
need to
it's
see.
just-
You just stick it in and it's like I can see.
That's what I thought. I'm like, okay, he's gonna have a glass eye now. Like, no, it works just fine for some reason.
Don't mind the tendons and things. That
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can
no,
see.
all the actual workings of the body. The whole Peter Dinklage thing. I liked Peter Dinklage in the role. It was no pun intended. It was a small enough role that it worked for what was going
We're
on.
getting banned from YouTube.
We're getting banned from everything. That's just face facts. And this is my first video. But the fact was, he did such a great job with it. I thought him acting in it with his voice. I mean, he's just using a gruffer voice. He's speaking in, like, I don't want to say simpler, but more. He was different. He was speaking different. It wasn't Batman.
Right.
See,
Right,
you didn't
right,
get
right.
that. You didn't get that. You had like it's just. He was speaking with a different accent in a way.
Say what you did there, Rob.
So right. I'm Barbara. Anyways,
Where is she?
but you needed someone in that role. And here's the thing: we didn't know. Like, I don't think it was ever really announced what
It wasn't.
role
We had no idea.
Peter Dinklage was actually going
Actually,
to play.
there were speculations that there were some rumors and theories going around that Peter Dinklage was going to be in the movie. They
Right.
just didn't. They
Yeah,
just
they
didn't
just didn't
know.
know
Just didn't know
They
where.
didn't know where.
Like, I was thinking he was going to voice one of the Black Order. You know,
Right.
one of
That's
them.
a lot of people thought. Yeah,
And
I
I'm
heard
just
that.
like, since we never really heard any of them speak in the previews, he could have done any of them, and I would have been like, "Well, that fits. I give you that." No, he is now a dwarf that is bigger than Thor, could probably challenge the size of Hulk and Thanos. Excuse me. And he's got his. I mean, he obviously had his ass handed to him too. the
Oh
way-
right, yeah.
Well, I think there was more. I think there was just more people on that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
dying
Like the
star,
rest
but-
of his race was slaughtered. The rest
Yeah.
of those people were slaughtered. He
But
even
it's
said
like,
that
but Thanos kept him alive after
because
the
he was the
Infinity
one
War.
that made the gauntlet.
Yeah, and but he kept him. That's what kind of confuses me. Okay, you're gonna keep the one guy who can forge these type of particular weapons alive, but you're gonna melt his hands in case, like,
Yeah,
in
he
the same.
encased your hands.
Yeah, but
Because he said that, hey, your
in
hands
technical
are mine.
words, he didn't really have to use his hands. You just need someone else there to work the forge
Right.
and not die while opening it. that's
But-
the only downfall I see.
I guess that moment is where you realize that Thanos is not omniscient. He doesn't know everything.
Right.
Right.
And so as much plans as he was making, he didn't really think that anybody was going to go back there and would be able to restart the forge and make them weapons and all this good stuff.
Or he just didn't think it was that pressing. Even if he thought, okay, this could happen, he was
I'll
figured-
take care of it
yeah.
later.
Like I'm not gonna need to worry about that. I'm worried about this, and yeah, I'm gonna fulfill this part of what I need to do before that's gonna be a problem. So
Yeah.
it's not a big deal.
Right.
In my gentleman says, I think they should have hidden Vision.
Well, and that's I was just
They
gonna
should.
say.
He should just move.
We've been going about 40 minutes or so now, I think.
Uh.
I want to hit on Vision and Scarlet Witch real fast. I would like to go over real quick definite bad points, and honestly, I don't think there were too many bad points of the movie, so I think we'll be able to run through that real quick. And then give a nice rating system, 1 out of 10. But let's talk Vision and Scarlet Witch real fast. I thought their entire arc was great.
She could talk Russian to me all day.
Dude, she didn't even have an accent in this movie. She
Yeah.
had no accent. It was gone. They're just like, fuck that.
That's how that works.
Not quite sure if that was just like training. Hey, we're going to be moving around and living in different places, so you might want to drop that accent or whatever was going on. But yeah, Scarlet Witch drops the accent, which is fine. We didn't need it.
No,
we really
it
didn't.
wasn't necessary.
We get why she had it at the same time. It just, to be honest, there wasn't so much focus on every character that we needed to have that.
Yeah,
there.
no, it
We were focused that she was the only female character with cleavage in the movie. We were also focused on we were also focused on the fact that she was probably one of the most powerful characters in the movie, besides Thanos.
Speaking of Scarlet Witch, on that, there's theories that she could be impartial, having the feelings of the reality stuff.
Well, she was. It was the Blue Stone. The Blue Stone is the Reality Stone. Blue
red,
Stone.
Red's
What was the Tesseract?
Tesseract was blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the which stone was that one again?
Which one? The Reality Stone?
No, the Tesseract.
The Tesseract.
Oh, it was blue.
Yeah, but what
It's
was it called?
blue.
Space. It's space. It was
Thank you.
It was the teleporting.
Thank you.
I was gonna say it teleported, but what was it called? I couldn't
It
remember.
was the space.
Ah.
Space
She was created using the Space Infinity Stone. She has a little bit of the Infinity,
Right.
the power of the Infinity Stone within her because she was created with it, which is also why I also still feel bad that Quicksilver died.
I'm
Like,
bad.
that-
Silver died.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that because I thought he was supposed to be in Infinity Wars, but they just we already had two.
Ultron did away with that one.
Yeah.
Anyways, but the fact is that her romance with Vision was awesome. But like between Civil War to now, we made up.
It was a 2-year, I think, gap between Civil War and Infinity War.
Yeah.
Vision
I mean,
had a
there's-
normal face.
Well,
He wasn't all red.
do you
Well,
think?
at
Okay,
first.
you saw that they obviously had a strong relationship, and they were moving around together or whatever it was, and then hiding and everything.
Yeah.
And we know, as far as I know, at least, you'll have to school me on this, that in the comics that Vision and Scarlet Witch have children. Correct.
They eventually do have children.
Do you think that's going to be some kind of a plot device in the future?
Not they're doing Silver Vision or
Gray
Vision.
Gray Vision,
yeah.
Ghost Vision, whatever you want to call them.
Like she might have gotten pregnant at some point before this happened, and but she doesn't know yet, and now he's dead, and that they might use that in the future. That Scarlet Witch is
She's
pregnant.
gone.
Yeah, she got
died.
snuffed.
Yeah.
But not. I mean, yes, but not. I mean,
Yes, she died.
She got
She
snuffed.
was part of the.
yeah, but not everybody's okay. Then that's a part we need to talk about too. But I don't think she's dead. I think they're gonna bring her back.
Well, they're obviously going to bring some of these people back, and I believe the Scarlet Witch is going to be one of them. Yeah, but as of right now, she's dead.
Yeah, but when she's not dead anymore, you think,
Are we going to get babies?
are we gonna get babies?
Which would be Wiccan and
If they use that, I mean, they could do
another
whatever.
speedster,
Yeah.
which is really weird. It's like I gave birth to twins, and they're basically representations of my brother and I.
I don't know. I just was very curious if they do.
That raises a question.
Right.
Those are Vision's kids.
There's that whole
Wow.
ultimate storyline.
That's a long pregnancy. That's a long pregnancy.
That's a story that everybody wants to know about. Like,
No.
Like, how'd you get a speedster? Be like, oh.
So I forgot we need to talk about the whole snap thing too. But
Are we still on
Vision's,
Scarlet Witch?
what was it? Vision's death with him, Scarlet Witch
First
saving
one-
him or whatever.
First
First
death,
one-
second death.
The first death was emotional. Second death was just funny to me.
What?
I thought it was like a fucked up kind of funny.
It was a fucked up. Kind
No!
of
Damn.
No, that wasn't funny at all to me.
Are you serious?
No! Yes, I am serious.
Let me explain. Let me explain.
It was messed up.
That was
It
really
was a
screwed
fucked
up.
up funny.
Okay,
It
alright,
was
so
fucked up funny.
Yeah.
So the first death
First death
was
was
between Scarlet Witch
Oh, I thought-
actually using her powers to destroy the stone in his head, which causes a huge explosion and knocks everyone on their feet. And Vision is gone. Scarlet Witch is still alive. I don't know how, being that close to the
Yeah,
the
I know that's
kept
her
emotional
alive.
because
Yeah.
you know,
Love kept her
she had to kill
alive.
her loved
Yeah,
one.
but-
and Thanos
And Thanos just walks
gets
up,
Yep.
Turns back time.
Turns back time.
Takes his
And
hand.
here's the second death. I mean, okay, so for the first death, you're just like, oh my god, she's actually gonna do it, and there's tears and everything. She's crying. Vision's like, you can't hurt me. And I'm like, yes, I can. I'm killing you, obviously. Like, how is this not dying
And
right in
then
front of me?
Thanos turns, and he just walks up, turns back time, and then you just hear nothing but pain from Vision.
And
It's like,
he just
you can't hurt
walks
me.
the
Ah.
stone out of his head. And at that point in time, you're laughing. I don't know. You're a horrible person for this. I'm in my seat,
I can
just like
I can hear him like,
hyperventilating.
like
Are we horrible people?
I would say I am a horrible person because that
It was a fucked up funny. I'm
it
like,
was, it's
that
like
dick.
you just like it was so nonchalantly how you just turned back time and she just watched him die again.
Yeah,
and it was just like
right there. I was- If this is funny to you, I am not taking you to any child's benefit. Nothing.
well, you should have.
You're in a wheelchair.
Like totally off topic. We went to go see Woman in Black years ago.
God.
There
oh
was-
yeah.
There were so many Harry Potter references because just like Dumbledore's not here to save you now, and we're
You're a
just
wizard,
like
Harry.
little kids are getting murdered in this.
No, it was the thing. The building was on fire, and the little kid like had what was it? A lantern or whatever, full of
Yeah.
oil. The kid's on fire in a corner, or the building's on fire.
Just
He's in a
pouring
corner.
it on him.
And just and the guy, fucking Harry Potter's like trying to save him, and the kid's like, and we're like, fuck! Like holy shit, the kid just burned himself alive. Yeah, we're messed up.
Yeah.
Look, I laughed during the Notebook, so let's just go. But I felt like the second death was worse. Like it's
I
just
mean-
like for anyone who wasn't laughing, the second Vision death was just so much worse because he's brought
It's
him back, and
horrific.
Vision is looking at right at him, going, "Wait a minute, didn't
Yeah,
I
like,
just
how am I alive again?"
And
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch is just stunned that this is happening again, and he just rips the stone out of his head, and you see Vision's body just go gray, limp, and just falls to the ground. Done. Just slate gray.
And that's how you know when that moment happens. It's like
We're
Thanos just won.
We're
Like,
done.
we're done. Like it.
That's when you know.
There
Holy
is
crap.
because anything they do from that point on that could possibly stop Thanos, and besides,
The gauntlet
The-
just.
yeah, he can just turn it back or do whatever he wants.
The
Which,
one-
oh my god.
the one detail I noticed when he used it, after that, you notice his arm and the gauntlet, he got fucked up.
Oh
when
yeah,
he
well,
does
okay,
the-
yeah. After the fact, let's hold on.
Yeah,
So
hold on to that.
right. So right after Vision's death, we see Thor coming back in, and he just
He
throws
kills
it,
like
you know,
a
just
snipe
right into the chest, and it's like yes, what's happening? We're finally gonna win.
I
and
thought that
Thanos
made-
just looks at him and goes, "You should have aimed for the head. Was it head or hand?
Head.
It was head. It was head.
And you're just like, wait, what? And it goes right to the hand, and
And then you see the gauntlet.
There's just
that's
a-
where you're.
a
you
gasp
see
in
the
the theater,
gauntlet
like-
of like gas, like going into like almost.
because
like a gassy
obviously
state.
what Thanos was doing was even almost too much for the gauntlet itself.
Oh, yeah, and I think the gauntlet still works.
No, the
Because
gauntlet. The
he
gauntlet
created a
used to his
portal.
hand.
I mean, he created a portal and got out of there.
That's
but
true.
It
Fixed himself too.
it blew up. I mean, it was scarred and
The gauntlet may not hold the power. It might be the thing where it may not hold the powers of all the Infinity Stones, but the Infinity Stones themselves still work.
Well,
I think that's
But at this
possible.
point
He
in
might
time, I
be.
think they're fused into his
his
hand.
Oh, you think?
I mean, just the way it
Yeah,
looked, it
I never
looked like
thought of that.
it was basically fused. So at this point in time, you're gonna have to take off a hand.
I
mean,
I thought possibly because I think there's a second Infinity Gauntlet, right?
well, there was obviously the prototype at the forge.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, that was it.
That was the
I-
second gauntlet.
I
Which I'm like,
wondered.
why are we keeping that around? That should have been the thing that was destroyed, but that could be brought into the next
I
movie.
wondered
it
if
could be
possible
like
they could
scaled
get the
down for
stones.
like Thor or
Right.
somebody.
Well,
Like,
oh,
like,
Adam
like, that's
Adam
gonna look-
Warlock.
Well,
Is-
Adam
is-
Warlock.
They showed him at
is
the end
gonna
of
be
Guardians.
Yeah.
So
So.
I think him
Yeah,
and
how is that gonna work?
I don't know exactly.
So many
I think in
things.
Guardians 3 they might bring Adam Warlock in Infinity 2 or whatever they call it, and they're gonna be looking for Gamora in
And
Guardians
Star-Lord,
3
yeah.
with Adam Warlock, and they're gonna try
Oh.
and bring Gamora back from the Soul World. It's because we didn't even talk about Gamora and how
Yeah.
Thanos
Oh my
is
God.
like, ha, yeah,
Oh,
I love
yeah.
you, see you, bitch.
So.
That was a really fucked up scene.
That
Oh my
was,
gosh.
dude. I thought she was stupid for not realizing that he was gonna do it. Like,
But we all saw it a mile away. I mean,
Yeah.
that was the one obvious point.
But she couldn't do anything. He had the space stone.
It
No,
takes
but
tried to run.
in her mind,
wow, right
he
here.
didn't love anyone. In her mind, she's like, this isn't gonna work. You don't love anyone. There's no way. Even if you kill me, it's gonna
Those
work.
tears aren't for him.
But
They're
even
for you.
And
Yeah.
And
But-
he just turns around and there's, it's like, how did you not? And it finally dawns on her. It finally
Right.
dawns on her.
I'm like,
Wait
you're
a minute, son of a-
stupid.
Are
Even
you
if
kidding me?
even if for some reason he didn't love her or he didn't think, he's gonna kill her regardless. Because why not? You know, the
Because-
possibility of it working or not working, he's still, I would think, just let's. You know what I mean?
Closest thing that he's ever loved is her. He's taken her in since she was a child, trained
Right.
her, everything like that. I mean, they even had squabbles. You hear
And
that
also
earlier in the
he
movie.
mentioned to Ronan, the accuser, that you lost my my most important favorite daughter in front of Nebula.
Yeah.
And that's why
Nebula's just like,
thanks
I
to
think
that.
Nebula's gonna be a big player in the next one too.
Oh, yeah.
well,
She
I
might
hope
get.
so.
She might get the gauntlet. That I think she's gonna be not get it, but I think she's gonna get it from Thanos. I think she's gonna be one of the big ones that is able to get in there and steal it or get it back from Thanos.
I
Not
don't think
use
so.
it necessarily, but
I see her as a player. I don't see her as like an end player. I don't see her like getting to that point.
But
I don't
think
speaking
it's
of which, of
hard. There's
Endgame,
so much.
do you guys think that
Doctor Strange is playing it.
maybe, or
I hope so. I hope he's
or-
betting on that because right now he's dead.
or
Right.
or do you think it's gonna be Stark?
Ooh.
Look. So on that note, when in the middle of the movie, we're getting to the point where Doctor Strange actually uses this time stone to peer into like over 14 million different futures, and they only win one in that view. So, and earlier before that, he even says, "You all can die. The time stone's going to stay safe.
Right.
I have to keep it safe. The universe,
Gonna let
right?
the Stark die, the kid guy. Did kid die in Spider-Man?
Kid guy. That's a
Kid guy.
superhero name.
Kid guy.
Kid guy.
Yeah.
Like,
But
like,
the
you're
other
that
thing
other
is,
guy.
like, but yeah,
So at that point in time, when you see Stark almost dying, you're like, "This is the moment. This is the moment where Robert Downey Jr. is
I thought
finally
he was
free."
done. I thought he was
You
done.
know, and
When
no,
he stabbed,
Doctor.
when Thanos stabbed him. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah, that's the death of the 10-year mark. That's the death of the first 10 years. No, what happens is Doctor Strange actually trades the time stone for Tony
Yeah.
Stark,
spare his
spare
life.
his life, and Thanos takes it, puts it in the gauntlet, disappears. And
Tony gives him this look like, why would you do that?
Why
It's
couldn't
like we're
Doctor
in the
Strange?
Endgame.
Why
Yeah,
couldn't
the
Doctor Strange
Endgame.
just turn back time? And why couldn't he just use the time? stone?
So many loopholes.
So many questions. That'd be so many questions left
I mean, he
unanswered.
put what
We would have more
That's
questions. about
almost
this
like
movie.
why didn't the Vision use his gem more?
right. And like Scarlet
would
Witch
think-
came out and destroyed a bunch of people on
Think
the
about it
playing
for a
field,
second.
and,
Yeah.
and
Because
you
I
know, Vision
remember
could've-
Doctor Strange when he was facing the, the other
Darth Mamu.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
He realized that he was using a time stone, right?
Yeah.
What if like Thanos
Could have done the same thing with
but
the
with
gauntlet.
reality stone?
Yeah.
Because
And-
now you have reality and time.
That's the argument, I guess. Okay, say Doctor Strange uses the Time Stone. Thanos already has a couple of Infinity Stones. Is he powerful enough to counteract it? You know,
Yeah.
is there even a reason
I
Doctor
thought
Strange
at one
to-
point
to
it
use
was
it?
a fake Infinity Stone. Like,
They said
like-
the time one that he had in his necklace there was a fake, and then he pulled out the real one.
Out of the
Yeah.
stars, and I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of cool.
I did think that was cool.
Pull out of the stars.
Yeah. So the click.
The click. Oh.
Snap.
The snap.
The snap.
Half your favorite characters are gone.
And the core Avengers are still there. The first. From the
The first team is
the first
there,
team is there.
And only
But-
one guardian.
and only one guardian, the raccoon, Rocket
Rabbit.
survived. Yeah, rabbit. But the emotional rise that you got, I mean, I think every person that's ever has seen this movie yet, I think the hardest one, there was a couple for me. The hardest one was Peter Parker, obviously.
Lot of
The,
people.
That was-
I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
That hit me harder
and
than
it's like
Vision.
holy crap! And the when he actually apologized, I'm sorry. It's like you did everything right. You played a major part in all this.
Did he say you could do? I could have done better.
Yeah.
I mean something along the lines, and you're just like so heartbroken because it's like, no, you did everything right. That's one of the things I love about Spider-Man. He's always so humble, and he always goes and critiques him. He's his worst enemy. But the fact is that he's the moral backbone of the Marvel Universe, and I think he can really fill that role when Captain America finally leaves. That Spider-Man will be like
point.
the moral compass
Well, because
of
you have
everyone.
Doctor Strange basically going to be like the leader aspect for when Tony leaves.
Oh yeah,
You know, Doctor Strange is going to take over that.
yeah,
So yeah, Spider-Man, Peter Parker taking over.
Because you guys see
the
Yeah.
art.
yeah.
that scene right there almost pays homage to the Age of Ultron scene where the Scarlet Witch fucks with Tony's mind and sees the
Oh.
mountain of bodies.
Oh, the Mountain of Bodies. Yeah.
That's why Tony has his
You could have done
mindset.
it. You could have
The
saved
end
us.
game. That's where.
Yeah.
That's the first time. That is not the first time you heard it. You
No.
heard it in Age of Ultron. Like, I'm thinking of the end game.
Yeah. And then the second death for me, when everyone's turning the ash, is actually Groot dies
Oh.
a second
Oh.
time, and Rocket's right there
Yeah.
again, watching his friend disappear to ash, and it's just like, are you kidding me? The emotional strain that Rocket's got to go through from losing. Well, he doesn't know that he's lost everyone else, but he's lost basically his best friend.
Oh, more like
Twice.
his family.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
Because they've
family.
been together for a long
Long
time.
time.
Yeah. And it is canon at this point that teenager Groot, baby Groot that we have seen after Avengers 1
Would have
is
been
not the same Groot.
Right.
He is a
his
child.
Mm.
He is his own person.
Would have been more
Asshole
emotional
teenager.
if they
Yeah.
would have
Edgy teenager.
If they would have, I'm just saying they never would.
Watch your mouth.
Would it be more emotional if it was Baby Groot?
Oh, if they killed Baby Groot?
Oh God! Again, you're
Why
a
would you
horrible
say
person.
that?
Well, I'm just saying, would it? Would it be
Fucked up.
I understand.
And I'm pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up, man.
I don't think that I don't think Disney would have allowed that. the mouse would have came down with his ruler and went no.
What if? Okay, wait. They kill Baby Groot, and then Disney releases a toy figurine of disintegrating Baby Groot.
It's a new bath bomb.
What does it smell like? Pine.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck you guys.
There's your YouTube highlight.
Yeah, there you go. I would say.
Okay.
What was this one? Okay, so besides Peter Parker, who do you take as like the biggest loss? I think Peter Parker is universally the biggest loss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The
Because,
hearts, yeah.
Black Panther, he died.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can rattle off the names, but who do you think struck you the hardest besides Spider-Man?
Strange.
Yeah,
Even though he had like one movie in that, but he played it so well.
Yeah.
And it was just like he has more movies in it within him. It's just like you're gonna kill him off now, but is this gonna be like a episode of Supernatural? Everyone comes back at some point.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, I think there's not necessarily everybody, but like I think Loki's dead. I think certain people are dead.
Yeah.
But there's a point before and after the snap that you have Spider-Man that's gonna come back and do more movies. You have Black Panther Black
has
Panther.
at least 2 more movies in him.
Yeah. Broke
I mean,
records with his movie. Nobody expected it to do that well.
Yeah,
And
marketing.
it was a great movie.
Yeah, marketing is going. You guys, you really have to
Like,
bring this
kinda-
back.
You gotta bring it back.
Like, there's like 5 more movies we
You're
gotta
fucking
do
up here.
This is a whole PR stunt, right?
So I think definitely most, if not all, the characters after the snap are coming back.
I don't know. I think that
Strange was like the hurt for me because I was just like, damn.
yeah, the wizard is gone.
The only freaking wizard out of all the Infinity guys is just gone.
Let's
No.
I mean, we talked pretty much about, I think, everything. I don't even know if we want to hit on bad points in the movie because I think we kind of dabbled in that as we talked.
I was gonna say there's really not a lot of dislikes to the movie. I
Right.
think 10 years in the making, it was just a fantastic
It was
movie.
I said-
worth it. We
It was.
were expecting within the 10 years that we watched the MCU.
Is it too hyped? And
It was too hyped, and like actually it came out better than what we initially hyped it up to.
Oh yeah.
Because I wasn't upset about anything in the movie. It's just that I'm
there were
waiting
little
for
things
more.
here and
I'm
there
on the
that I'm
edge of
like,
my
yeah.
seat right
We're,
now.
we're at the cliffhanger.
Right.
We want to know.
This is the
I
end
said-
of what, phase 4?
No, after the next Infinity War, or whatever it is,
What is this?
that'll be the end of Phase 3. It'll go into Phase 4, and they
And
said it's
there's-
gonna be completely different.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be. It's not even
grew
gonna
up.
be. Yeah.
What we grew up and watched, it's going to be different. It's going to be new heroes, new
But
story arcs, and
I
stuff
think
like
they
that.
said that it's very possible that it's not even gonna be like each character got his own movie and then they bring them together to do a thing. I don't even think they're gonna do that anymore. I think it's going to be separate. Like, you know what I
They
mean?
bring back Phil Coulson.
Well, I mean, he's been in.
He's gonna be in.
Shield.
That's what we need to talk about.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, the
So,
end
end
credits
credits.
scene. That's who hit me the hardest when Nick Fury died.
Really?
No.
Really?
I was
No.
gonna say.
His
I mean-
last words were mother and mother.
I mean,
But-
great use of a reference,
And,
great use of a line, but
The universal pager that summons Captain Marvel.
It's like 2018. It's like you're using a pager.
Yeah, but Captain
Yeah, but
Marvel's being set in the 90s, so therefore she has a pager. I guarantee at the end of Captain Marvel,
it's all gonna make sense.
in the end
but-
credit scene in Captain Marvel, she's gonna get a fucking page, and it's gonna be from Nick Fury in the future, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, I gotta go fucking save the world."
I don't think it's gonna be like Nick Fury in the future. I think she's gonna obviously she's not being affected by the snap,
No.
but 2, she's gonna be off-world or in some distant part of the world, being almost isolated, waiting for the signal, because she's apparently that powerful that
She's-
we
yeah.
didn't
She's
that we
like a
didn't
brighter
include her in the
version.
Avengers. We
Yeah.
didn't include her in Ultron.
Didn't need her.
With
Supposedly.
supposedly.
She's like the brighter version of Batman. She gets a signal from a pager instead of the sky.
Yeah. I don't know if that's better or worse, to be honest.
Well, she doesn't have a cape, so.
Yeah, no capes.
No capes.
Yeah. So everyone turning to ash. Well, half of the universe turning into ash because Thanos just snapped his fingers. And the end credit scene is you see Nick Fury and Maria Hill driving
That's her
down.
name, I couldn't-
Yeah, Maria Hill. Robin from How I Met Your Mother.
Mhm.
Yep.